You have entered the Command Zone, your destination for all aspects of Elder Dragon Highlander. Enjoy your stay.
Somewhere beyond the seas, somewhere waiting for me, my lover stands on golden sands and watches the ships that go sailing. Nice solo.
Thank you. Yeah,
That was
working on my
amazing.
trumpet.
What's up, everyone? You are watching / listening, mostly watching the Command Zone podcast live. I'm one of your hosts today, Jimmy Wong.
How's it? It's Josh Lee Kwai. We are joined by the world famous Post Malone.
Post Malone of Game Nights fame.
That's why he's world famous, just so you know.
I love you guys. Thanks for checking it out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Welcome to the show. Today, we are going to be doing some fun stuff. We don't do live episodes often, but we thought it'd be fun to talk about some cards. And who doesn't love Magic cards? If you're watching this stream, you probably love them as much as I do.
Yeah, so the Commander decks from Streets of New Capenna were just revealed over the last 2 days. So we thought it would be fun to talk about our favorite cards that we saw from just the Commander decks. We're not going to talk about the main set. Posty, you're here.
Hello.
But people maybe don't know, but we deal obviously with a lot of people in the Magic world. You are the person that is building the most decks constantly of anybody I know.
Oh, wow.
I can't stop.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
He has like a notepad thing on his phone with all the different
Commander.
decks and it's crazy.
Commander, Legacy.
So I think this is be a good chance for everybody to just hear us all, but especially you talk about Magic and how we think about Magic cards. The show's going to be sort of divided into two parts. We're going to talk about our favorite cards from Streets of New Capenna Commander decks, and then we're going to do a Q&A near the end with Posty for any questions that everybody's got. And of course, as we're going through the cards, we really do encourage the chat to get involved because we're going to be kind of doing it off the cuff, so there's a chance that we don't mention a card that's maybe perfect with one of the cards, or maybe we get a rule wrong, because that happens when you're
so.
yeah when
You're
you're
going to
talking
say we're
about
making mistakes? No way. I'm perfect. No way.
Posty and I were texting just the other night about a card and getting all excited, and then we realized, it says 3 colors.
Exactly 3 colors.
Yeah, exactly 3 colors.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I thought it was excellent. It is excellent.
Yeah, so please keep us honest out there.
Yeah. Big thanks to Wizard of the Coast for supporting the live stream. And also, we're joined by Lady Danger in the chat room as well as here in the studio.
Hi.
If you all want to be involved in the second part of the episode where we ask some questions, you can put them into the chat. Lady will be there and watching along. So hope to see some good questions.
Also, just a preface, the way the cameras are set up has about me, Jimmy, and Josh same height. I want you guys to know that I am significantly taller than you.
We're standing on sandbags. It's hard to... Yeah, let's make sure that the world
It's for
knows.
composition.
Exactly, yeah. We want a nice even playing field, but this is really where I'm at.
Yeah.
No, don't do it. Come on.
You're breaking the wall.
I could have been lying.
Just told them.
No, I could have been lying.
Right.
Yeah, come on.
You don't lie.
There's just memes. It could have been a meme.
It could have been a meme.
Just memes.
Okay.
All right.
Still the most handsome guys in town,
Aw, thanks,
nonetheless.
man. And finally, the triumvirate is complete with the third handsomest, Post Malone.
I don't know.
I almost
I'm
said
feeling
Lady
to be number
Danger.
third.
Almost.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
number
keep
third.
up. You know, I'm happy with third. I take third.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Sorry,
hey, I
yeah.
just like to party, man.
I didn't mean you were third.
Oh, yeah, we should say that...
Who's first then?
Triangles,
Y'all
they're all
gotta duke
equal
it out.
points.
Who's
yeah,
first?
We'll play a game of Commander for it later.
That's not fair. But okay.
We should warn everybody. Normally, our show is very G-rated, but it might stray to PG territory.
Yeah.
We're gonna try, but an obscenity may slip out here and there. It is live.
Magic.
So, yeah, just want to warn anybody who's watching with kids or anything like that. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, we will have had time to beep those out, but not in the live episode. So fair warning. Okay, let's start.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I'm doing my best.
You're doing awesome.
But in every PG movie, you get one F-bomb.
That's true. You're allowed it, too.
And you're allowed it.
Yeah, it's not even like a
and
breaking
but
a rule.
I'm going to do my best. But
Yeah,
you never know, I get excited. So it might
You get excited about Magic
pop.
All right, let's talk about the first card from New Capenna Commander decks that we wanted to talk about. I think this is one you picked out.
Sure.
I think we all did, obviously, because this is kind of a crazy card, and white is on the rise, I think, in recent years, and this is evidence of that. Yeah, go ahead, Jimmy. You want to read it?
It's called Smuggler's Share. It's 2 in the white for an enchantment. You should see it on screen here in a second. At the beginning of each end step, draw a card for each opponent who drew 2 or more cards this turn. Then, create a treasure token for each opponent who had 2 or more lands enter the battlefield under their control this turn. Good job, White.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I have a question for both of you, which is, I mean, this is obviously good for White, but it feels like maybe it's so good that it's just good for any deck that has White. Like even if you have blue and White, are you running this card?
I don't know if Esper Sentinel. Okay,
Right.
1 drop. Right.
Amazing.
Boom. Every Azorius, even if you have blue,
Even if you have
if you have a Rhystic Study, if you have a Mystic Remora, you're still gonna run Esper Sentinel. I think this deck, or this card, is specifically good in mono white because you're missing so much card draw. You know.
Yeah, it's a
what I mean?
3 drop.
But you don't think you would run it if you have access to all that other stuff? Because
I
it
don't
does give
think
you
so.
treasures. You don't get any treasures off Mystic Remora.
That's very true. But I mean, who's playing Landfall? Who's playing like Lord Windgrace at the table? Who's Crucible of Worlds and everything? Lady.
My question is, because this costs 3 mana, everyone's ramping with land ramp on 2 and 3. How often are they doing it past that you're going to get treasures? And, But I would say that in a regular
That's
commander
true,
game,
ramp, I didn't
a
even
lot
think
of times I would say like at least 30 to 40% of the turn, someone's drawing more than 1 card each turn.
Oh, for sure. You're definitely drawing like a card at least a rotation, right? Because there's almost no, in most commander games, once you get past turn 3, there's almost no rotations where everybody just draws
Someone's
one
going to draw
card.
another
Right,
card. Yeah,
right.
it could be looting, it could be anything. There's lots of different ways to draw cards.
I do think, though, this card, it only works if they draw 2 cards on the same turn. So if they have instant speed card draw and they time it right, they can deny it to you, right? Because if they just wait till this trigger goes on the stack on somebody else's end step and let it resolve and then do their instant speed card draw, they can draw 5 cards at that point. You're not going to get any card draw off this card.
Right.
It is at the beginning of each end step, which is kind of interesting. So it does look at each player, and not everyone's going to be able to just sit there and be like, nah, I don't want to draw that extra card right now. I'll do it later.
And fetch lands could be the double lands entering, right?
Right. Yeah, right.
Oh,
Exactly.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. I didn't even I was thinking about landfall and all that stuff, but yeah, the fetch lands will do it. Like I guess, Nature's Lore, anything like that, it'll do it too. Which is actually pretty good. And I just built Light Paws.
Oh, yeah.
nice.
And
This is amazing in that deck.
I think for mono white this is good. I would not run it over a Rhystic Study. It's the same CMC.
Yeah.
Especially if you have blue in your color. So I
But
think
would you run both?
No, I would not. I think there's only 100 cards in the deck, so it's like it's like, oh, what am I taking out to do that? But for mono white, I think this is a really super cool.
I would say
thing.
like white, red, mono white,
Yeah.
white, black. Yeah, you probably run this.
I mean, I think it depends on the makeup of your deck. If you have a lot of wheels, like Windfall or whatever, well, you're going to Windfall, and then you're going to draw 3 extra cards.
Right.
And, maybe if you've got things like Howling Mine or Anvil of Bogart.
This is better than Howling Mine.
Yeah, but I mean, if Howling Mine's already in the deck,
Then
everyone's going to draw 2,
right?
and you're going to draw that extra. So Howling Mine kind of lets you draw 3 extra cards per rotation.
Yeah.
You get in that weird situation, though, where it's like you want Howling Mine out if you have Smuggler's Share out, but do you want to have Smuggler's Share out without Howling Mine out?
I think it's still probably good. It's just way better with Howling Mine, right?
Very
It's going to do
much
something.
So. Yeah, and it's so interesting too because like a lot of these like you try to get them out as fast as you can, get your card draw right. It's all dependent on what your opponents are doing.
Correct.
Which is like I guess mono white very much lacks just draw a card. Hey, as much as I would love that, you have the what's the one drop that's like
That's not Sentinel.
yada yada draw a card.
Yada yada, draw a card.
Yeah,
in mono white.
Yeah, and white.
Mono white.
It's like it's not rebuff the wicked. It's something there. It's something that's like, oh,
Maybe
your
Jamie
opponents
can
can't
find
do
it.
blah blah blah, and you draw a card.
Maybe chat can find it. Yada yada, draw a card.
Yada yada, draw
This
a card.
is the
It's
new
a-
Wordle,
it's
by the
a
way.
mono white.
Yada yada could have been the Streets of New Capenna card for sure, right?
Yada
Yada yada. No, that's the
yada.
mono white card. Yada yada, draw a card, and then it's just one white mana, draw a card.
Yeah,
that's so good.
Yada yada. Yeah, it's interesting. I think this is so. What's the other monologue tax? There's a bunch of 3 mana cards that are in white now that are like very good, but like Posty said, it depends on what your opponents are doing. So I think really look at your play group. Is everyone playing fetch lands or evolving wilds and always cracking them? Smuggler's Share probably looking pretty good then.
Yeah, if you got like three color decks.
Revitalize?
They're definitely. Is it Revitalize? No, Revitalize does say
Gain
draw a
life, draw
card, but
a card.
that's
It
a
does say, but
two
it's one in a
drop.
white. It's
one in
yeah,
a
that's
white,
a
yeah.
two. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. It might have been Revitalize, but it's a
Curse of
two-drop.
Silence, Abeyance, Mana Tithe? No, Mana Tithe doesn't
Yeah,
draw a
Mana
card.
Tithe.
Would that just counter
Mana
something?
Tithe just copies Jimmy's Soul Ring, or counters Jimmy's Soul
Yeah,
Ring.
counters, yeah. Yada Yada Tribal is what Trent
Yada
said.
Yada.
Yada Yada Tribal is absolutely fantastic. But yeah, is this, how do you guys feel, speaking of like 3-drop card draw in white, how do you guys feel about like Secret Rendezvous?
Oh, where you and an opponent draw cards together?
Go ahead.
Josh would never play this card.
Josh will never play this
I
card.
will play this card, but I will try and leverage it to as much as I can.
Sure.
Right? Like, I'm going to spend 3 mana on the sorcery speed on my turn. You better be my friend for like
Sure,
2
very
turns,
much
3
so.
turns. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like to give things to my opponent, so no, I'll just find
Yeah.
something that only benefits me if possible.
Man.
You act like you play a lot of Secret Rendezvous. I play with you.
I've never played Secret Rendezvous once, but I'm thinking about putting it in these mono white decks because I need to draw something sometimes.
True.
you
It is
know?
giving you something, yeah.
Which is, I guess this is better than nothing. Okay, you get a planes,
True.
mana crypt, whatever. But it's just good. If you get this out early, I think it'll reward you.
It's hard
just
to
fine.
imagine a game where you don't draw at least a couple of cards off
Right.
of it. And
Yeah.
you spend your 3 mana spell. If you get 3 cards, that's pretty
Right.
good.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's probably going to incidentally get you like 1 treasure maybe in the game.
Maybe
if they're
the-
not careful,
right.
or they
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to
yeah.
crack their fetch on the same turn they played it because they want to play something now at sorcery speed.
Turn 1, this is pretty good, turns out.
Turn 2,
Turn
even
one
turn 2
this.
that. Well, here's the thing.
To live in Posty's world,
This is not. This isn't.
where I have mana crypt every
This
game.
isn't Great Henge. This isn't the card that people want to remove. So you do have a little
Yeah,
added
that's true.
benefit that it's just going to sit there.
Yeah, it's a sleeper.
Yeah, it sleeps and occasionally wakes up and draws you a card or makes a treasure. Pretty good
Or
dream.
makes a treasure. Out of
good
nowhere,
dream.
you're like, oh, you cracked a fetch land?
I don't think we figured out what
I get
Yada
a
Yada
treasure.
draw cards
That's
was.
pretty good.
by the way, but
all
we
right.
tried.
If we spend this much time on every card, everyone's going to be here for 6 hours.
I'm down.
Yeah, I'm down with that. No, Yada Yada draw card.
Yeah.
Sorry, Josh.
Yeah.
Is,
Write that
definitely
down,
two
Wizards
costs.
of the Coast.
It is Defiant Strike. White instant target creature gets +1/+0 until end turn. Draw a card.
Yeah, it's Divine Strike.
Defiant
That's
Strike.
a 1-drop.
Yeah, it's a 1-drop. Yeah,
I
yeah.
knew I wasn't crazy.
It was chat. Chat figured it out. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
somebody in chat said the ideal would be turn 1 Esper, turn 2 Light Paws, turn 3 Smugglers, turn 4 Smothering Ties.
Yeah, that sounds epic,
Wow.
man. Yeah, you got so much mana.
like that magical Christmas
Yeah,
land right there. I like that one. I wanna go
Yeah,
there.
Christmas land's good this
All right,
time of year.
Smuggler share. Thank you, White. You're doing some stuff and we like
I
it.
think it's cool. I think
I think it's cool. Yeah.
And
It's also-
we've been saying for a long time, like, I don't think White needs more Smothering Tithe or Teferi's Protection level cards. They need more Cultivate level cards, and this feels like what that is.
Yeah.
Catch-up cards.
Yeah.
Not like the ketchup you put on your burger, but catching up. And this card 100% does that. Same with like what's it? The mana tax.
Boy,
one
this
where
is
you draw-
the live episode.
You get 3 basics out of your deck. I can't land tax.
Oh, right.
Land
It doesn't work unless someone else is really doing the thing, and so you
Yeah.
catch up.
Right.
But land tax turn 1 is great.
Yeah,
Sorry.
oh, yeah,
Josh,
yeah, yeah.
take her away.
Okay, next card, everybody. Strap in. We're gonna be here a while. We got
Yeah. I mean, I'm
cards
here
to
till,
talk about.
till
Thanks,
midnight.
Thanks.
Was about to cuss, but I didn't.
Yeah. We should give high fives every time we don't. Yeah, good job.
the
Nice.
whole episode's just high five.
Frick yeah.
Constant high
All
fives.
right, the next card is also a white card. This one is pretty cool. I think a lot of things you can do with it. It's Resourceful Defense. 2 and a white for an enchantment. Whenever a permanent you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, put those counters on target permanent you control. And you can pay 4 and a white, move any number of counters from target permanent you control to another target permanent you control.
We have never seen this text on a Magic card before.
It's pretty dope. I think it's dope.
The
It
closest
is.
you get is like Ozolith. But
Yeah,
that-
the Ozolith,
But that
the-
waits. It has to happen at a certain time. This is actually, I think, one of the single most defining cards for like counter decks that's ever been printed.
Yeah.
You can do so much with it.
Yeah. That's it. Planeswalkers?
Yeah.
Right.
Sagas?
Planeswalkers.
Now, if a planeswalker, if you tick it down, then those loyalty counters are removed. So if you ticked it down till it died, those loyalty counters won't go someplace
Right.
else.
Right.
If somebody attacks it
And kills it.
that's damage that takes away loyalty counters, so
Right.
they won't there. But if something destroyed a planeswalker, just what is like Dreadbore or something,
Right.
then those counters would now go on to any permanent. They could go onto a land,
Right.
and you're just like, my land's holding.
And then you play another Planeswalker, you can move them back.
Yep,
Yeah.
my land's
Yeah.
just holding my loyalty counters
For 5
now.
mana.
Yeah.
Yeah, for 5 mana, but Planeswalkers cost nothing to activate. So you could play a Planeswalker, maybe you have 5 mana to transfer it over an instant ulti.
You could put it on like a strip
Yeah.
mine.
You could definitely pop Ugin or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
whatever you want.
Yeah.
Do some crazy stuff.
I mean, if
there.
you're smart where you put the counter, like put it on a strip mine or something that you're going to be able to have die or go to the
Right.
graveyard, then those counters can now be moved with the first text without the mana, right? So I think that's super powerful. Sagas are another really good one.
Yep. You
Yeah.
can just instant complete a saga if you move it all over.
Yeah, and if you have multiple sagas,
Oh yeah, it's any number of counters.
so one goes to 3, it completes, and then those counters go on to the next one, it completes. You get chapters 2 and 3 or whatever, then goes to the next one. So if you have 3 or 4 sagas out, which, okay, Magical Christmas Land.
I play Saga decks.
Yeah.
I play Saga Tribal.
Yeah, so it just be like, boom, they just all happen. There's also an interesting rule thing where you can, in response to the 3rd chapter happening, you can take all the saga counters off of it,
Right.
and you'll get the 3rd chapter effect, but now the saga won't get sacrificed.
Because it triggers on the stack.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's correct.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So
triggers
what do
on the
you
stack.
do with that Saga?
The saga goes away.
Well,
but
now
you
it's
just
Urza
get-
Saga, and you just be like, cool, now I'll go find another 1-mana artifact the next time, or
sure.
whatever.
You keep-
yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
So
This
it's like
is
an Ozolith for white.
Yeah.
an expensive Ozolith for white.
Yes.
How much is Ozolith? It's one.
One
It's
mana.
a 1-drop.
Yeah.
But it's a trigger that happens at a specific time.
But Ozolith is only creature.
When is
Right.
Yeah, that's very true. Also.
Yeah, so sagas and loyalty counters don't work.
I noticed too, looking at this set, there's a lot of 1/1 counters and 1/1 counter synergies for it. So I think it fits. This fits within the set. So like,
Yeah.
dope.
It's very good.
And in particular decks, very much so. Like I don't know, like you could give your commander double strike and win,
Right.
just like
Yeah.
with that.
Oh yeah, and you have to be scared if there's a bunch of counters sitting on anything. If they swing with their commander, like okay, for 5 mana they can
Right.
just move all
Move
that.
them around, yeah.
Right.
The fact that it's any number, it counts everything. Like you have cards with Death Touch counters on it. You can even take like Dark Depths counters off of it, and
Sick.
for 5 mana, just make Dark Depths turn into Merit Lage.
Just
Pretty
immediately, yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Epic.
Yeah, for 5 mana, that's,
Yeah,
a,
that's
that's a
epic.
pretty good reduction on what Dark Depths
Are you
cost.
taking? Yeah, you're just taking them off.
Because you don't,
of Dark
you may
Depths?
never move the counters anywhere else, but that's all you want to do is just
Yeah.
move them off. So
It's a very legacy move of you, Jimmy.
yeah, very, very much so. Thank you. For 5 mana, Legacy's laughing at me. 8 mana actually to cast a spell.
I
and
can
then use
take
it.
all of the counters off of
Merit
Dark Depths for
Lage.
5 mana.
What are you gonna do now, Yugi?
That's what it do.
That's what it do. Have you guys seen Delaying Shield is another one where I think this is quite good. So if you would be dealt damage, you put that many counters on Delaying Shield instead. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, you remove all the delay counters on Delaying Shield. And then for each counter removed, you either lose 1 life or you have to pay 1 in a white.
Oh, you just move it off before you get to
Yeah.
your
You
turn.
untap, the trigger goes on the stack, and then in response, you just move all the counters away to like your land or whatever, and it says, "Oh, there's no counters there. You don't have to pay any life."
And you're
What?
indestructible.
you basically can't die to damage
That's
at that
cool,
point.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty
that's
sweet.
cool.
You don't even take the damage. You just always
Yeah.
put counters on. So it's
Yeah,
not
it's
even
cool.
like the Platinum Angel where you're at 0 life but not dead. No, you're still at your life total.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
that's pretty cool.
Wow, and it's in mono white. Very good.
Platinum Angel is in mono white too.
Move your indestructible counter over there.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what's cool. Looking at the set, there's like a bunch of shield counters and stuff.
yeah.
So there's just
Yeah,
like a way
that's
you
right.
could really pillow for it with that card and with like everything. Like,
I think
You could-
threat of activation will be really big with the card too, because if you have 5 mana up, they have to worry.
yeah.
If I go to destroy that, he'll just move that thing over there,
Right.
which causes them to not go to destroy it, so you never actually have to
Yeah.
use the mana
Right.
on that. Like that, yeah, it's such an advantage. Yeah, very cool card.
Does doubling season affect this if you move the counters as the double?
Yeah, 'cause
Really?
It's if counters would be placed on
Placed
something.
on
oh
It doesn't-
my goodness.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, am I playing Selesnya from now on? Like that's all. That's
Yeah.
that's it.
Selesnya
That's
and
it.
There's been so much
Yeah,
support for
that's
plus
it.
and plus
Yeah.
and counters. You can do. There's so much you can do now, and like Korea brought in the indestructible counters and the menace counters and all that stuff. Lots of craziness.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of cool things you can do with this card. Like, we're just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
So many possibilities. Because now that there's lifelink counters and indestructible counters and death touch counters
Yeah.
and everything, just being able to move those around at instant speed and do crazy stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, putting an indestructible counter on, like, your Nev's disc or something just sounds like the meanest thing
Yeah,
ever,
that's
right?
crazy.
Like, yeah.
They very much could have had this just say +1/+1 counters only, and it still would have been the only time that this text has been printed on the card. which
Yeah,
is
but the fact
move-
that it's any counter.
Yeah, any counter, it really is, I think, pushed in that way. So I'm pretty excited about that.
I'm trying to for planeswalkers. I'm trying to like figure it out because
Yeah,
I had a Traxa, took it apart. But now that Luxior is
Oh, yeah, the
getting printed in
sword.
this, and I'm like, yo, your planeswalker's a creature that's kind of nutty. So I'm trying to figure out how to work that in.
I'm telling
Yeah, this
you.
has to be useful with the planeswalkers. Or
Yeah, very
creatures.
much so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Play a planeswalker, move the counters on it so that it can ulti.
Yeah, you can play
turn
another
one.
planeswalker and then ultimate that planeswalker.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because you can just move the counters on. Because it's
that's
just
cool.
loyalty counters. It's the same across every planeswalker. So pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You just need 5 mana to do it.
That's a
So,
lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
You got to be. I think this is the deck that you're playing a lot of mana generation. Otherwise, or super just have a billion lands. Because otherwise, you're resourceful defensing once a turn. It's
Yeah, yeah. You need.
You're not going to do it twice a turn. No way. That's 10 mana.
Somebody needs to figure out a combo with this where it generates mana. Somehow moving the counters makes mana, and then that's how you break it, right?
I don't know. Maybe one of those.
Whenever counters will be placed on.
But
Oh, like a
actually,
storage
doesn't-
land or
like
something?
a storage
But you have
land
to
or
use
something.
them.
But I'm trying to think. Yeah, because what else has a storage land? And then
Right.
how are you got to play something to untap that land?
Yeah.
And then blah, blah, yeah. I feel like you can do it, but I don't think you
Can you use
will be able to do it, especially if you're playing
Will
with
it work for
Josh Lee
Infect
Kwai of
as
Game
well?
Knight's fame.
No. Well,
they're-
those are placed on a
You have to move it
player.
onto permanent.
Permanent. Yeah. Infects. Sorry.
Players are not permanent.
I'm permanent for like 100 years. I guess.
Corporeal. I don't know.
I'm not
Yeah,
planning
yes.
to go anywhere.
I'm sticking around.
All right, cool card. You want to move on to the next
Let's
one?
move on. Yeah,
Sure.
we got Extravagant Replication
Yeah.
in blue. 4 blue for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a token that's a copy of another target non-land permanent you control. So you get to create a token copy every upkeep for your upkeeps. That's a copy of another target non-land permanent. So this could be an artifact, enchantment, planeswalker, you name it. It could be another resourceful defense, but you probably don't want to.
No, you can't. It says another. That's actually one of the.
no, yeah,
resourceful
sorry.
No,
defense,
but
sorry.
you could.
You can't do extravagant.
You
You
we were talking
could.
about,
Yeah,
right?
we
Yeah.
talked about this. We talked about this. So me and Josh, I'll let you take it.
No,
away.
go.
No, you explained it probably way better than me. But you could resourceful defense, copy enchantment, mirror maid, your
yeah, mirror
resourceful
maid.
defense.
Oh no, you're extravagant.
You're extravagant, yeah, extravagant
replication.
Oh, replication.
Yeah.
Because Mirror Maid is a copy enchantment blue spell, so you just copy
Right.
that.
Yeah, you just keep.
And now they can copy each other because the replication can't copy itself.
Right.
But if there were two of them, they could copy.
You could copy it, so
Yeah.
you can make
Oh.
1,000 extravagant replications.
And then what's that card that gives you extra upkeeps, Josh?
Paradox Haze.
Paradox Haze, yeah. and then-
Sphinx of the Second Sun,
Yeah,
I think,
Sphinx.
is the really
Oh,
cool
right,
one because
right,
if you make a copy of the Sphinx, you'll get another upkeep after your second main or whatever, and then you can make 2 more copies of the Sphinx or whatever. Like it can start getting out of control super fast.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
But how are you winning?
So I think the win is probably with some extra turn type spells. So there's
Everyone's favorite.
Yep. So like just Archaeomancer, right?
Yeah.
With a time warp, you just every turn you get to get
Oh,
your
bring
time
it
warp back.
Yeah.
Yep.
You make an Archaeomancer, get your time warp back. That's a pretty simple loop. You can also there's a card called Second Chance, which is 2 and a blue for an enchantment. During your upkeep, if you have 5 life or less, you sacrifice Second Chance and take an extra turn after this one. So if you just stack your triggers, so you copy the Second Chance, you have to be at 5 life or less, obviously. Then sack one of them.
Necropotence.
Yeah.
And
And then the next turn comes around.
That'll do
yeah.
it.
So that's probably how you use this to win.
What was the one we talked about? We could, but it's a slower win. What is it? Mechanized production.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't that work?
Yeah. Good
So
old
if
Tefe-
you
what's
just
his name?
mechanized production, what is it? If you have 8
or more of the same artifact.
yeah,
then
so
you
you
win.
could just keep kind of. I guess you could just blow this up huge and then just make
Copy some tokens.
so many
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then just win. That's a slower win.
Yeah, you copy your mechanized production, and before you know it, you
Yeah,
have 2 or
exactly.
3
Right,
of those, and
exactly.
then yeah, exactly. And if you're doing like treasures or clues or something, you can create on the side. Like I think you could do it pretty quick, actually.
I think you could do it quick.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting card just to give you extra copies of stuff, too. Unfortunately, it's not land, so you can't ramp yourself, but it's 6 mana. But you're copying, you could also copy, like, Sphinx of the Second Sun, or whatever that crazy
Yeah.
one is. Sphinx of the Lost Trove, that one, yeah.
Or
That you
just
could
Agent of Treachery or something.
Agent of Treachery, yeah. There's
Yeah,
so
that's
many
good.
very powerful creatures you can just double up and over again.
Yo, that's
Reminds me a little
awesome.
bit of,
That's actually awesome.
yeah, you're going nuts at that point.
I foresee all of my things getting stolen very soon.
Yeah, it's a party.
Oh, you like magic cards? Me too, Josh.
If you copy a legendary permanent like Kakusho or Kaiga, you're going to get the death triggers because the moment it enters the battlefield, it instantly sacks to the legendary
Oh,
roll. too.
Kokusho's. Yeah, that's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you could get 2.
If you do
Then all of a
even like
sudden
What's Kokusho's? He's got 2, right?
yeah, well the first one, no, it's a new old Kakusho. When it dies, everyone
Old
loses 5
Kakusho.
life, and you
Yep.
gain life equal to
That-
life lost as well.
Ah, yep.
So
That's
you
the
could
good
just
shit.
Exactly. Anime. Yeah,
you have to because the legendary.
that could be a
rolls
win
are
condition right there. It's
Yeah.
just Kakusho mana plus Time Warp mana, and you have your Archaeomancer or whatever, and you have 2 of these out. Oh man, it's like a
Yeah.
6-card combo.
But Kega just steals all their stuff too. It's like because
Ooh.
it's a dice trigger on it to take creatures, right? So
Very nice.
yeah, that's another.
Yeah, someone
Ah.
mentioned Brutaclad also seems pretty good. You just make lots of mirror box Brutaclad. No, you'd probably do something crazier.
What would you do?
I don't know. I like making Brutaclad tokens things that people don't expect that are killing them.
People were talking about Biovisionary.
Biovisionary!
Biovisionary, because
If you have 5 more of these, you win the game, or is it 4? Yeah.
What's the one? Simic, not Ascendancy.
Oh,
Is
but
that
Simic Ascendancy is the one that counts up 1/1
Ascendancy?
counters.
Counters. If you play like this is going back. I'm totally going in retrograde.
No, that's right, for
But it's
resourceful defense,
for resourceful defense. I just thought of that right now. You could, I don't know. You could try and figure that out pretty quick. I don't know.
It seems like it wouldn't be that hard.
I don't know.
I like
work.
that. I'm
Well,
down.
not hard for you or you. It's a little hard for me. It takes me about 20 minutes.
what I
to
was
He's
figure it out.
modest, but he stomps us all the time.
That's not true. That's not true.
All right, let's go on to the next card here, which is Into Deep. An interesting new removal spell from blue. It costs blue. It's an enchantment aura with split second. So as long as this spell is on the stack, players can't cast spells or activate abilities that aren't mana abilities.
Pretty good.
It says enchant creature, planeswalker, or clue.
Your clue's looking
Yeah,
mad
that's
scary
weird.
over there.
I'm gonna get you.
It's even more weird because if you enchant a clue, it says enchanted permanent is a colorless clue artifact with pay 2, sacrifice this artifact, draw a card, and loses all other abilities.
Okay. So this is like Imprisoned in the Moon. This is like Song of the Dryads. You're changing the fundamental aspect of a permanent.
This would be significantly better if it had flash.
True. It does have split second though, so you do have to cast it on
Right,
your
right.
turn. But once you cast it,
Right.
they can't like do things in response for the most part. There's some things you
Right.
can do, obviously. Yeah, but you're right. If you could,
Yeah.
I mean, it is like interesting that it hits planeswalkers too. I think that makes it like because Pongify doesn't hit
Sure.
planeswalkers.
Definitely
and,
don't hit clues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Reality Shift, which is probably the closest comparison, I guess.
Yeah.
To this doesn't hit planeswalkers, but is instant speed, but doesn't
Sure.
have split second. They're turning a lot of different levers to like make it hard to evaluate where this sits. I mean, how would you evaluate it in relation to like Reality Shift, which sees a ton of play?
Manifest the top card.
Yeah, and it exiles. It's instant speed, but it's only creature.
I mean, it's good. Look, here you have it's 2 blue pips.
Yep.
That's kind of crazy, right? There's so many if you're playing mono blue, maybe.
Yeah.
Right. If you're playing mono blue, maybe because you have those blue pips.
Blue. Yeah. Blue.
If you're
It's
playing
harder to
like
cast,
2 or
yeah.
more, I mean, yes. I don't know.
Like how
I'm trying to think of like Abrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophy, like stuff like that, and then they still even get a clue. I guess
It's like Declaration in Stone because they get a clue of it, but Declaration in Stone's only creatures. This does target a lot of stuff.
How often
Yeah,
is
very much
Planeswalker
so.
like relevant? Like, is there a Planeswalker in the battlefield you want? It's not that often, right?
Probably
Right.
not.
I just want to hit it, but if I have Luxior, I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
You're
if
right.
they have
attack it.
Luxior, I
Yeah,
can't.
yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I think enchant creature is the biggest part, but then you got it's nice because it can't be like countered,
Right.
like all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Yeah, like once you target it, it's pretty
yeah,
hard to
yeah, it's
interact
hard
with
to
this
get
spell.
around.
Like, it's gonna happen, and it gets around, indestructible and things like that, which
Right.
is nice. I think there's ways to make this a lot more mean too. If you have like Collector Oof out or Stony Silence or Null Rod, all of a sudden, it's gonna be stuck there. They won't be able to
Right.
activate the clue to draw the card.
Oh, activate abilities, right?
And now it becomes more like Song of the Dryads or Imprisoned in the Moon,
Right.
where kind of can turn off their commander for the rest of the game, which we've all had happen, and
Right.
it sucks.
yeah, you have to have a
it's-
sack outlet
Yeah, that's
otherwise.
rough.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, if mono blue, I think it's good, but it's not. I don't know.
You have a lot
what
of
does
options.
Snap say?
Evaluate.
What
You
does
got a lot
Snap
of
say?
options.
Is it non-land permanent
Yeah.
or creature?
No, I think Snap is creature.
Creature.
Yeah.
Because
I don't look at
I mean,
Snap.
at the end
I
of
might
the
be
day,
wrong.
I don't see myself casting this on a planeswalker or a clue. Definitely not a
Snap
clue.
is creature only,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, Snap is creature
Yeah,
only.
creature only.
But it's super interesting because it is the thing that's getting me is 2 blue pips.
Yeah.
Had this been cut down to like 1, I'd be like,
One
yo,
in blue,
this card's
yeah.
crazy.
Right.
This card is
Even
insane.
if it was one in generic mana?
Yeah, even
Yeah.
even so. And it's sorcery speed.
Yeah.
The split second is really what's kind of like,
Yeah,
this
pumping
card
the
is
engine, yeah,
good.
come
If there was
on.
something in between sorcery and instant, it would be in here, right? Because of the split
That
second.
is
Yes,
yeah.
instant.
Yeah.
A
It's not quite
instant.
instant, but it's a little.
Maybe we're
Source
allergic to
instant?
sorceries on this channel.
Yeah, we don't use sorceries, man. I don't keep one
I'm
in
not.
my
I'm
deck.
not that part of that life. Yeah, I don't.
Josh,
I don't mess
Shauna
with
is proud of you for saying oof correctly.
Oh, yeah.
Oofy.
Shauna just taught me how to say oof on the recent episode. Because 100% I would have said oofy up until.
You never play Roblox?
couple days
Roblox.
ago.
Oof. Oof. Oof.
Isn't that just somebody getting like smacked? Like oof.
But it's
No,
a
that's
Roblox.
when you die in Roblox.
And they spell it OUPHE.
I don't know how they
I thought that was
spell it.
They might.
OOF.
They might.
They have a whole
How they spell
Roblox
it. Okay.
vibe. I don't know what they're up
Just
to.
remember that sound. Let it wake you up at night.
That's Josh's fever dream now. It's just
We're really inducting Josh into the internet culture by giving him the old Roblox oof.
Josh, let's hit a dab one time for
okay.
posterity.
yeah.
All right. Wait, we were this one. Sorry.
What?
What?
Bodied.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know what's going on anymore. Okay.
Josh is like these
Moving
children.
on to the next card.
Cards.
Cards. Magic. Good.
Game fun.
Fun.
Game fun. Game hard.
Game
Game
hard.
is hard, yeah. Okay, the next card is a red card. I guess, Jimmy, you should read it.
Hell yeah.
This is a pretty cool, interesting
I get
one.
one H word per live stream. All right.
Yeah, the H works.
Spiteful Repossession. 4 and a red for a sorcery. Spiteful Repossession deals damage to each opponent who controls more lands than you, equal to the difference. Then create a number of treasure tokens equal to the damage dealt this way. So if I have 3 lands and somehow play this, and Josh and Posty both have 5 lands, this would deal 4 damage to them. 4 damage, because they both have 2 more, and then that would make 4 treasures.
I never have 5 lands on the board.
I was going to say, this is a really good card for you, because you are always behind in lands.
Yeah, you
I
got your
feel
City
like,
of Traders, you got, big your Lotus
City
Field.
of Traders wins games, though. Hey, and
It's a great
like,
card.
I don't.
It says
like,
it says deals damage to each opponent who controls more lands than you, equal to the difference. Does that mean if you both have 5 and I have 3, does it deal 2 to each of you or 4 to each of you? Jamie,
Jamie,
let us know
Who
what
contro-
the answer
each
is, or
opponent-
chat
each
let us
opponent who
know.
controls more.
Is Jim from the Spike Feeders in there? He usually knows this stuff.
2
2
to
to
each.
each.
All
2 to
right.
each. Thank you, Jamie.
Yeah, so if I have 3 lands and they both have 5 lands, that's 2 difference in lands between myself and Josh, so that's 4 total. And then you make 4 treasures.
You will make 4 treasures, yeah.
that's pretty dope.
In this case scenario. Now,
Is it?
well, I don't know. Are you gonna get to the? Are you gonna? Is it gonna be as good as you want?
I don't know.
I mean, the treasures feel like they're a pretty big game if you're going to get like 5 to 6 treasures. I guess it's a 5-minute spell, though.
Is it a Brass's bounty?
Ooh, Brass's
interesting.
Bounty. Very good comparison.
Well, they're obviously different. Kind of one wants you to have a lot of lands, and this wants you to have not very many. But is it going to be better or worse on average than a Brass's Bounty?
I think Brass's bounty will take it every time. I
Yeah.
think this
it is
is.
7 mana for Brass's Bounty, but you'll probably get way more treasures as
Are
a
you
result.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Brass's
Yeah, because how many
bounty-
games are you in where your opponents have 4 or 5 more lands than you do? That's a lot more.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Unless
Yeah.
you're playing straight mono red or straight Boros, your opponents are at most 2 lands in front of you. 3 maybe, but unless you're like a Lord Windgrace deck or whatever, then you're 1,000 lands in front of them.
Yeah, if you, I say you slot this in, you say, oh, you got Lord Windgrace. I'm slotting this in right now.
I think you can't even be Gruul, because if you're Gruul, then you're playing green, you're gonna have more
yeah,
lands.
you're ramping. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's this.
Somebody mentioned
colorless.
Obosh because it's odd.
Oh, it's odd, so it'll deal
Obosh.
double.
Oh.
And then do you read it again? Do you create? Yeah, you create treasure tokens equal to the
damage.
damage dealt.
Yeah.
Difference.
Equal to the damage dealt. So
Yeah, for
if
the
it doubles,
treasures.
it'll double the
Oh,
treasures.
yeah, equal to
Yeah,
the
with
damage
Obosh,
deficit.
then you're gonna have all of your Torbrins and stuff too. Okay.
Yeah,
now
okay,
we're talking.
Fire Emancipation, Torbrand. I mean, there's interesting things you can do if you're willing to like sack your lands. So if you have
Ooh.
Zern Orb or maybe like squandered
yeah.
resources, you can put this on the stack and then just sack all your lands. And now,
What's the Goblin sack a land deal 2 damage? What is?
Jamie will find it.
Jamie will find it. It's a Goblin
There's something.
miner or
It's a
something.
Goblin. He's like sack a land. Blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah, yeah.
Then run this. I don't know if you're gonna kill anybody.
What if everyone? Okay, it's turn
but
9.
you might get like 30 treasure tokens.
Yeah, yeah.
So you
Yeah, you can
probably
get a
will
lot.
kill them.
Then
So
you
it's
could
turn
go
9.
off.
Everyone's got at least, let's say, 11 lands out, and you sack all the way down to 0. You're going to do 11 damage 3 times, and you're going to make 33 treasures. Okay.
You could probably win right there because 33 mana is enough
That's
to
a lot.
win.
That's a lot. Oh, Aki
Avalanchers.
Avalanchers.
How do you
Sack
how do you pull these out of your
oh,
brain?
gets plus
If
2
there's
plus 2.
any-
Oh, okay.
yeah.
You know,
Goblin Raise Runners?
There you go. There's a lot of cards. I don't know,
Sacrifice a
man.
land,
This
plus.
is-
Okay. So red
it's
likes
tucked
sacking
into my
lands.
special.
It's not that hard for-
I'm like, there's
Your
one part
cerebral.
is for magic. and
Yeah.
I'm like,
It
But-
definitely digs deep.
That's
cool. I like that.
You don't even have to sack your lands. There's cool stuff you could do with, let's say, Teferi's Protection, right? So you put this on the stack, maintain priority, put Teferi's Protection on the stack, let Teferi's Protection resolve
Oh, so you have 0 lands technically?
when it resolves, and all your treasures will come in. You'll be
You can still play your turn out.
Yeah, because there's nothing about like you're not phased
Yeah.
out. It's all your stuff. So now you
Treasures will come in afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you'll get the
yeah.
treasures. You'll be able to play the cards out of your hand. You're totally still Teferi's protected. Your board is phased out. That's pretty cool.
That's
Yeah.
spicy.
That's 8 mana.
What do you? I mean,
That's 8 mana.
That's insurrection, Josh. Come on.
right.
Yeah,
but
you could
like,
play an insurrection, dude, and win.
But 8 mana, win the game is where about where we are, and I think that's will because you'll get 30 treasure tokens.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like
You could like double vision it or fork it.
it's
Fury
a pretty
Storm
good.
it,
Yeah.
I
Get
think it's
more
good.
of it.
Fury Storm with it seems pretty good too.
Yeah, but
9
that's
mana,
what?
but,
That's
like,
9 mana.
But I mean, if you get like 3 copies of this and everybody takes,
Well, here's
you
the
know,
thing.
2 to 3, and but
Let's-
again, you make 30 treasures.
Let's say you're playing the Heb. Do you play this in the Heb, the Worthy?
It's pretty good.
Or the Eternal?
It's pretty good.
Oh, because it gives you basically double mana for all it did, because you get the treasure
You
and
get the
the mana
treasures
from
and
the
the
head.
mana of the second,
Yeah.
your main phase, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a really-
you get.
he
Yeah,
has a
you,
good
you
map
get. Inspired by Jimmy.
Thank you, thank you.
I tried to get his deck list. He wouldn't give it to me.
I
So
gave you a
was
couple
just like-
cards.
He did give me a fog.
Yeah.
Alpha Fog. I love you, Jimmy.
Well, no,
so
it was
much.
smoke.
Smoke, that's
Yeah,
what it is.
I love
yeah,
that card.
They didn't give me an alpha
Very,
smoke.
yeah, sorry, Josh. Maybe you
Yours
read
is in the mail. You didn't get it yet?
Yeah,
Yeah, you didn't get it yet?
it's crazy. USPS is very slow this time of
Very
year.
slow, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But I don't
Maybe
know.
it's lost. Who knows?
I think it's quite good, and I don't necessarily need what I need in Neheb is to get enough mana for Neheb, and then like lands
Right.
don't really matter.
This isn't
Right,
So if it,
right.
But once again, it's all dependent on what
Your opponents are
everybody
doing.
else is doing,
Yeah. Right.
and so dependent on what everybody else is doing. Like if you got a guy that's ramping crazy,
Right, playing a lands deck.
right?
Then it's awesome.
That's perfect. So it's like,
Yep.
but it's just so situational. It's hard to.
Yeah, any given
gauge.
game, you don't know if you're going to have that person at the table.
Yeah.
This does sit in a nice spot, though. I think most like more casual sides can just play this against and go into more competitive metas. Maybe your deck's a 6, their deck's a 7, 8, and this will probably do some work for you. So, got some flexibility.
5 mana.
Yeah, it's a lot.
5 mana. 5 mana is a lot.
I'm stepping back.
Regret.
I'm stepping back. I'm not
We got
doing it.
taller, though. We got taller, so that part got
You
yeah.
guys
yeah.
are mad.
He's phasing out.
5 mana, guys.
Yeah, I think the Teferi's protection line is kind of the coolest, though. I like that.
That's how we were.
Yeah,
gonna
I
do it.
like that. I like
yeah,
that a
that's
lot
cool.
too. Yeah.
All right. Moving onwards. Josh is green. You want to read it?
Oh, is this my turn? Okay.
Yeah.
The next one is Family's Favor. 2 and a green for an enchantment. Whenever you attack, put a shield counter on target attacking creature. Until end of turn, it gains whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, remove a shield counter from it. If you do, draw a card. And a shield counter means if a creature with a shield counter on it would be dealt damage or destroyed, remove a shield counter from it instead.
I think this is pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
I think
3
that's pretty
mana,
good.
not so bad.
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, because
Yes.
it's protection and it's card draw, and sometimes you want one, sometimes you want the other.
Well, you play this, you attack, right?
What are they going to do?
If it doesn't, if you're not blocked, you get a card.
Right?
Yeah.
If
and
if it is blocked,
maybe they
nothing,
lose
It doesn't
a
matter.
creature?
yeah, it doesn't matter.
maybe it's a
Yeah.
bad trade for them.
I think it's
Yeah.
quite good. I think this is a pretty damn good
100% creature-based deck. 100%. It's a 3 mana enchantment. It gets out early, and then even your like 1/1 coming in to just swing at Josh because he doesn't blocker.
card. Yeah.
You have a what's the
take that
Ornithopter
shield counter
Paradise?
off. Yeah, Ornithopter Paradise.
Just
You hit
smack
Josh
someone.
for 0 and
Draw
draw
a
a
card.
card. It's so good. I think that's pretty good.
I also think like we play things like Lightning Greaves, Swiftfoot Boots, mostly to protect our commander.
Right.
Yeah.
And this can function as that in a lot of games where you'll play it, have an attack you can make, get that shield counter on your Zur or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm not gonna take that shield counter off to draw the card. I'd rather protect that creature and make
Right.
it harder to kill. Because that's a thing we're looking for in a lot of our decks, right? That's gonna turn off when our commander dies. And so the fact that this can give you some card draw, but also function as the protection.
Yeah,
for
the
your-
protection. We always talk about like how pseudo vigilance and stuff is always good on
Yeah.
commanders. So being able to do that is pretty good. I like this especially in decks with mana dorks because I see often like you'll play like 3 mana dorks out, but oh no, you don't actually need to spend 6 mana this turn. You only need to spend 4. So you swing with those 2/1/1s.
Doesn't seem like it does much,
Yeah.
but in this case, it'll draw your
But
card.
it turns your elves into actually something that can draw you a card and it gets protected. So
Would Ornithopter hit? Because it says you have to deal
You have
damage.
to deal damage. I don't know if the Ornithopter
I don't
thing
think it
works.
It would not work.
So
That's why you were
sorry.
in here, Jake.
Look,
Would,
all right.
would it
All
work
right.
in Selvala?
How about another Thopter? Just a regular old
Would it work
1/1.
until Vala? What do you mean?
Like, because you're attacking with and a lot of creatures?
I'm trying to dump that into staff.
Okay.
I'm not attacking. I gotta dump all that into staff, man. That's good. I think this is a great card for mono green. I think that's so cool. You get it if turn one. I mean, like we talk. There's Christmas Land, very much so. But
Turn one, turn two.
your one thing. You got your thing out.
I just love
And
Landwar
then-
Elves being able to draw you cards. That sounds great.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
You're losing the mana, but you also get the card.
If you have
but
instant
get the card.
speed proliferation, you can swing, double the shield counters up, take a shield counter
Take
off.
one
You have
off.
2 off. Yeah, you still got 1 on there. Then board wipe.
That's what I think too.
Now you're
With
going
board
hard.
wipe and shield counters, it might be a thing where you're just like,
Yeah.
swing with this one turn, get a counter on my commander, don't take the shield counter off. Next turn, swing with my other important creature, put a
Right.
shield counter on. They don't block it. Board wipe.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep my 2 creatures. Everybody else's
Right.
stuff is gone.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Ignore what I
Yeah.
said about
It
Ornithopter.
is
Replace it with Birds of Paradise. That's a
Sure.
1/1,
Yeah.
right? There
No.
you go.
Oh no.
No.
That's a
It's
0/1.
a 0/1.
What am I even doing
Nice
here?
try.
How about you're playing it in a deck with like the Butts deck, the Duran deck?
What's
there.
an Ornithopter of Paradise? I think that's a 0/2, right?
Yeah.
It's a 0/2. It's a 0/2. Yeah. But look, you play it in your freaking Duran deck. You're fine. All right. Everyone, stop looking at me. What's the next
This is why
card?
we're not
wow.
usually live.
Wow.
Wow.
All right. The next one we're on to artifacts. It's Currency Converter. This is an interesting card. 1 mana for an artifact. Whenever you discard a card, you may exile that card from your graveyard. And then you can pay 2, tap the Currency Converter, draw a card, then discard a card, so loot. And then you could also just tap the Currency Converter, put a card exiled with Currency Converter into your graveyard.
Okay.
And then if it's a land, you make a treasure token. And if it's a non-land, you create a 2/2 rogue creature token. So obviously, it's all on the card. You could use it to loot. That's going to be put into exile. Then later you use this to bring the exile card back to your graveyard and get either a treasure or a token. And
It's not a land, though.
I'm gonna let you guys talk about this.
no, you don't see it. You don't feel
Nah, I
it.
don't
Okay,
see
maybe
I'm
we can
not
sell you
feeling
on it.
Yeah, sell me.
So I think the first line of text, you don't have to discard the cards because of Currency Converter. So if you Windfall or Wheel of Fortune or whatever,
By the way, it also says you may exile that card from your
Yeah,
graveyard.
which
so
I think-
it's similar to there's a
that's
couple-
important, right? Because if you have important things you want in your graveyard and not in exile,
Okay.
then you can do it. So let's say you wheel or something. It's going to
Right.
put all 7 of those, or the ones you want, into exile. And then you can sort of slowly bring them back for treasure. So this becomes tap a 1 mana artifact that's tap, make a treasure token for a while, right?
Right.
If you got enough
you're
thing into
discarding
exile.
Tap to make one. I don't-
Here's the thing, though. When
It
you're
takes some work, obviously.
when you're discarding those lands, you do also need to play lands. So is this only good if you're flooding out?
This is like, I feel like, I don't know though, because if it's a land card created treasure token, this would go great in like what? Like Anya and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
That's
right?
already discarded, yeah.
Right. I don't know how many times you're going to discard a land, unless it's late game, but at that point, it's like, how much treasure do I actually need? Am I going to play an artifact just to make a treasure once every
Do you just need
turn?
this then in the decks that only want to discard cards and draw discard and they're constantly doing like that blue-red? I forget the name.
I mean, I think if you have a lot of wheels, it becomes good because a 1 mana artifact that taps for a mana every turn is good, right? We play 2 mana artifacts that
Right.
do that. And treasures are better than tapping for mana because we can save them up over turns. We don't have to
Right.
use them.
Yeah.
So if you have a lot of wheels, I think it's pretty good. I also think all the leaves the graveyard cards are good with this. So like Sir
Right.
Conrad.
Right.
Because if you wheel with Sir Conrad out and this, each one of those will hit separately and then leave the graveyard and trigger each time because it's not
because-
all at once.
Oh, so the discard
Whenever
hits
you
the
discard
graveyard
a
and then
card,
you exile
yeah.
it?
But that's the whole thing. Now you're exiling cards from your graveyard. Say this just gets Vandal
up.
blasted. Then
Sure.
now you don't have any of that stuff in your
Well,
graveyard.
I mean, if it's a combo piece or something that's important in your deck, it's a may. So you're like, this one, I'm not going to do that. But most cards that
Right.
you're discarding to
Okay.
like Wheel of Fortune
Right.
are not, a lot of them are lands or just cards you have, another removal spell or whatever. It's
Right.
not that important to you. And I don't think, people are going to target this necessarily. It might when it becomes an engine, but I think there's some use for it. I don't think it's amazing, but I think there's some cool stuff, especially with the leaves your
interesting.
graveyard stuff.
Yeah.
Desecration Tomb with this and a wheel is pretty good, right?
The fact that it only costs 1, I think, is the biggest one. Because there is definitely, and they've been doing a lot of this, like, bag of holding or all similar cards where it's like, look, we want you to start drawing, discarding, and seeing what happens. So this is just another, I think, iteration in that world, and this one might be stronger than the rest because you could make creatures too.
That rummage effect for 2, though.
That's
a lot.
Play it with
That's
Steve
losing if you're doing that, right?
That's
Like, that's
a
what you have to do,
lot, man. You're
Play
like, I
this-
need to do something like right now. I need to fucking loot.
You got
PG.
1. I need to loot. High 5.
I need to frickin' loot.
Guys, I need to freaking loot right
we'll
now.
figure this out.
One more and we're rated R, but we're good. We're still good. We're
No, we're still PG right now.
Yeah, we're
you
still
get
PG.
one.
You're still
You
PG,
get
yeah, yeah.
one in
Still-
every PG-13.
Yeah, heck yeah. Okay. All right, let's move on to
Wait,
the...
I have
Well,
a final
you have
question
more?
for you,
Okay,
Posty.
Okay.
Did I sell you on it? Like,
No,
are you-
I'm not running this. No, there's no way.
I tried.
There's a great
Back
argument.
to the drawing
but
board,
I'm not-
Josh. Yeah. Always be selling, but not today. Glengarry,
tried.
Glenn, and
ABC.
Josh. ABC.
All right, let's go to the last card here, which I think is going to have a lengthy discussion because, Jimmy, this is the card you're playing as your commander on the next game nights.
That's right.
And Posty, this is the card that you kind of latched onto the most out of all the new,
man.
and have been building a deck around. And it's an exciting card. A lot of people out there are talking about it. Jimmy,
So
you want to
cool.
read this? This is going to be your commander.
Yeah, it's the Beamtown Bullies.
Wow.
So there's a lot of text on this card, so bear
It's a
with
very
me.
cool card.
1, a black, red, and green, so that's Jund colors for a 4/4 Vigilance Haste. It's an Ogre Devil Warrior, but that probably won't matter.
Sick. Ogre Devil Warrior Tribal.
Yeah, exactly. So, and you can see them all in the art too. You see a little devil in the background.
Yeah,
He's
they're
definitely the
cool.
warrior. Yeah, maybe he may be the ogre. Okay, you can tap it. By the way, it's got vigilance and haste. So you can do it as a turn that comes down. Tap it. Well, you don't do it on your turn. Okay, tap it. Target opponent whose turn it is puts target non-legendary creature card from your graveyard onto the battlefield under their control. It gains haste. Goad it at the beginning of the next end step. Exile it. It sounds like a song almost. You're starting to, yeah. So goading it means that they have to attack, and it has to attack a player other than you if able. And you're taking basically, let's say I pass turn, I play the Beamtown Bullies, it's Posty's turn. I tap the Beamtown Bullies, I pull a card out of my graveyard, it's non-legendary, and put it under his control. It has to attack, and it's goaded, and it's got haste.
Stinky gifts. Lumps
Stinky-
of coal.
stinky
Absolutely just
gifts.
lumps of coal.
Or
stinky,
amazing gifts.
Stinky gifts.
There are so many things you can do with the Beamtown Bullies, and specifically it's called the Beamtown Bullies because you're trying to bully people around. Give them something
Push them
to mess
around.
with.
Push them around.
Yeah, hey, you don't attack someone else, kiddo.
So what's the first card that you thought of when you saw this card?
1, 2, 3. Phage.
Phage. Yeah, Phage doesn't
But it
work.
says not. Yeah, I was with you. It says not
I was not
legendary.
on the. I was not on
Yeah,
Phage.
Phage is the first thing I think that I thought of that you
Yeah,
texted me like,
yeah.
oh my god, Phage with this.
Yo, if you give your boy your Phage, that's
See ya.
crazy.
You can't do
Unfortunately-
Phage, unfortunately.
Yeah,
they
no.
thought of that.
Non-legendary.
I think that's
yeah.
the single reason they said non-legendary.
Very much so. I think it was definitely Phage and card design. It was just like, they can't get
There's
a
lots of
Phage.
other things too that just legendary creatures, they kind of break another layer. So I think they were like, let's keep it normal. They're just bullying kids around. They're not pulling legendary creatures from Magic's history out for other players.
Man, I don't. This card is so cool, dude. It's just
Very
like
cool.
it's not. I don't know if it's super quick, but it's like it's so fun.
It's
Because you have put together like a little list, and I know Jimmy, you have a deck
Yeah.
too, and all the cards on it, I had to look up most of them because they're not cards you normally use, which is what's cool, right?
Why would you ever play these cards besides? I mean, Leveler makes sense. Leveler makes a lot of sense if you're going to Thoracle, right?
Yeah. You're
But
gonna Thoracle,
you
yeah.
give your boy your Leveler, you're like, oh my god, and I'll pass to you, sir. Like, or like, you wait a turn around and then they go to draw, and there's
So
nothing
leveler, by
there.
the way, it just says when leveler comes into play, remove your library from the game. So you give this to an opponent.
and
I
they
think-
remove their library from the game. Right?
They remove their library from the game. It's just over for them. Straight up, it's over. And by the way, Posty, I do have a gift for you. It is a foil leveler. I brought this today.
Mine's in the mail, by the way. Yeah, it's okay. Don't feel bad for me.
Yeah, good old foil leveler. Turns out this card, you never play it unless you're playing the Beamtown Bullies.
He's only doing that so the next time we
course.
play, he could be like, "You wouldn't level the guy that gave you the leveler, would you? I know the
gave
game.
it to this
I know the game
dude."
you're playing, Jimmy."
I'm a level Jimmy.
No! If it's with my own card, that's one thing. But yeah, leveler is a great card. You can also Eater of Days. If you
Eater
drop
of
this on
Days.
someone, they skip 2 turns.
Can't find a foil right now. I'm trying.
Yeah, it's tough.
I'm trying.
Eater of Days, very popular
Somebody's
card.
mentioning
Very, very
Avatar of
popular.
What's that?
Avatar of Woe.
Avatar of
Avatar
Woe.
of Woe. Well, that's another dynamic that I was thinking about because like So like
Yeah, I
in the
love
one
this.
that I'm building too, is like super wheely. So you're like wheeling, you're looting,
Filling your graveyard.
getting stuff in your graveyard. Entomb,
yeah.
Buried Alive. Like
Yep.
these are all like if you play Buried Alive, you could get the 3 cards that you need to give to your boys. and then
3 opponents in a row, and then it's over.
and then a Seedborn Muse, and then that's just it right there.
Yeah.
But
Avatar
Avatar of Woe is good because the creature gets exiled. So the creature gets exiled, but if you kill it before it gets exiled, it goes back to your graveyard. You can do it again.
right.
Yeah, this is
know.
really smart and interesting. I mean, I'm amazed you came up with this because we didn't really realize it until we were playing against Jimmy's
in the middle of the game, we were
deck.
like, wait a minute.
So what happens is, you take a creature from your graveyard during an opponent's turn, give it to them. It's goaded, it has haste.
Right.
They have to attack with it. And we learned during the game, like, don't block and kill it, because then it goes back to the graveyard and they can do
Right.
that again.
Right.
Yep.
So what people end up doing is going, I take the damage. And then it goes to the incept, gets exiled, now they can't use it again. So
Right.
your opponents kind of start to work together to make it so you don't have access to that
Right.
tool again. So yeah, Avatar of Woe gives you a tool to kill it, get it back in your graveyard,
Right.
use it again.
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
Avatar of Woe, Royal Assassin. What's the other? Visara. She's expensive, but there's no problem. If you're pitching stuff to your graveyard, then you just bring it back.
Reanimate
She's
it,
a 6
animate
drop, I
dead.
think,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. There's ways to get Visara back.
Visara,
easily.
yeah, 6 drop.
But you give someone something, and you use any of these creatures to tap and kill it.
Right, to
before
kill
the
it, so
end
you
step.
get it back, and then if you have like 1,000-Year Storm or like
1,000-Year Elixir.
1,000, and then you have like
Mage Right Stone.
Mage Right Stone,
Seedborn Muse, all that, yeah.
all that stuff to untap your guy. You can give it to the next guy, and then do it again. Give it to the next guy.
Yeah, it's not crazy
And then-
to be like, I do this to each of you.
Yeah.
If
No,
you
if
leveler
you
someone
have those-
3 times in a row,
That's so cool.
I will quit the game of Magic the Gathering and never play again. That's the dream. And you pass turn, draw a card, die. Pass turn, draw a card, die. Pass. It's incredible.
It's so cool.
Wait, you're saying you'll quit if that happens to you, or you do it to other
No,
people?
I do it to other people because I
Okay.
will never ascend higher than that
no,
moment.
that's it.
That's it
right there. That's all you
Triple
get.
leveler or Eater of Days, whatever you want.
There was a cool one you had on your list, Posty, called
Yeah.
Soul Gorger Org.
So gorgeous.
I've never seen this card
What?
before, but I like this play pattern. It's a 6/6 with trample. When it enters the battlefield, you lose all but 1 life. So you give this to somebody. But it says when it leaves the battlefield, you gain life equal to the life you lost when it entered the battlefield.
Right.
So you've got like, hey, I'm going to try and do 1 damage to you somehow during
Right.
Yeah,
your turn.
Josh,
and finish
gut
your-
shot. Or Josh,
Lightning
you have
bolt.
a pinger. Yeah, lightning bolt.
You win with Lightning Bolt and Commander. It's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, that's amazing. Spike Field Hazard. There's tons of 1 damage things. Or just
Yeah.
be like, Josh, you're playing a pinger deck. I'm going to reduce this person's life to
Will you
1.
kill him?
How about
Can you kill
Master
him?
of Cruelties?
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
You're always going to find a chance to hit some with Master Cruelties, right?
Are
Well,
you kidding me?
It's goaded, so they have to attack one
They
of your
have to
opponents.
attack,
Yeah.
and they can attack. So he's going to attack alone because goading it says it has to attack
Right.
if it's able.
Right.
So there's no chance for them not to. They can't attack with any of their other creatures. They have to attack with the
Is
one
that how
you
that
assign.
works? If
Right.
they
I
had
think
multiple
so.
creatures, do they have to attack
Because
with the Master of Cruelties?
goading says this creature has
Has
to
to
attack
attack
if able.
And because it has its additional claws, it must stack on top. I love it.
You have to swing with the master, right?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I think you're right, but Jamie's
Jamie!
going to tell us in a
Jamie?
second, or somebody in
Jake?
chat will tell us.
Yeah! So you have
Jamie
to
says
attack
yes.
with your goaded Master of Cruelties. There's no other way to get
Part
around
is
it.
if we're wrong,
Yeah.
it's Jamie's
I
fault.
love
Not our
And
fault.
then your boy gets 1 life, and then you just lightning bolt him too. Because I run 4 lightning bolts in my commander deck.
Nice, perfect. That's very legal.
Whoa.
8
One
soul
chain
rings,
lightning,
Soul
one's- yeah.
rings.
8 soul rings, 16 lightning bolts.
Why stop
10
there? Why
mana
not like
crypts.
20 soul rings?
I don't know, man. I
don't
need
wanna
to
draw a
run.
handful of
How about
soul
room for the
rings.
mana crypts? Because I
Yeah,
run like 90 of
exactly.
those.
Yeah, there.
Another card you had written down, Posty, is World Gorger Dragon, which I think
Yes.
is actually pretty funny.
Yeah, that's cool. So I was doing like I looked at this commander and I was like, this card
It's
is
it.
so cool. But it's an interesting interaction. So you give them the World Gorger Dragon, their ability, the ETB ability goes. They exile all their permanents, and in response, you tap.
That on the
And
stack.
murder.
Like your
World
royal
Gorger
your
Dragon.
royal
Avatar
assassin.
War.
Exactly.
Well-
You know anything like that,
Even
and then
the kill spell, it doesn't matter.
then they just lose all their permanents. It's epic. And I was looking into it. I was like, does this actually work? And it works.
Yep.
Yep.
It works.
In this deck too, if you want to be more competitive, you could just build in the Animate Dead World Gorger Dragon combo to.
That's
just
a
win the
combo
game,
for
too.
you right there.
It's just straight up, yeah.
So you have it, but yeah.
You're gonna play that anyway. Yeah, it's great.
It's actually World Gorger's pretty good, even if you don't kill it. Like you don't have that, it still sort of gets rid of their whole turn because they get World Gorger, have no other permanents.
Yep.
You do that during their upkeep or something, then they're like, I guess I have to attack with it. Nobody blocks, then it gets exiled at end step, and then their stuff comes back, but their whole turn's gone now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So even in the worst case scenario, World Gorger's like really good. And
I think
yeah.
it's pretty damn good.
You make someone take a
obviously way
pause.
better if you can do the thing. But
If there's some like weird thing where they're gonna lose, you can also just stop them from losing that turn too. So you can even use it as a favor. So
Yeah,
there's
and
a lot of
that's the whole
flexibility.
thing. If Beamtown's out, he has haste.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the biggest part about this.
They
for
have
sure.
haste. You can do this whenever you want on anybody's turn.
Yeah.
right.
So it's just like, it's I don't know. I think this card is so cool, and this is like the coolest card in the set. Sorry.
Yeah.
But it's so cool.
I
I'm
think
gonna
it's-
have so much fun.
This is one of the best commanders I think I've ever seen in my entire
It's just interesting.
I'm not-
It's totally and
not kidding.
completely new deck building style.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
we were talking too, because I'm building Felden right now.
Yeah.
And you're talking about you're giving yourself this stuff. This one you give to them. You've never seen an Eater of Days or
a leveler, yeah.
played ever, like ever. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
very
so
cool.
It's great.
It's a really cool deck.
Can't
I
wait to
think.
drop Eater Days on Josh.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Next
And
time
you
on
too,
Game
Jeff.
I
Night.
have
Yeah,
two
yeah,
of
hit me,
them
hit me.
that I'm gonna have to. So I'm gonna be seeing this deck a lot.
If I get Eater of Days by the Beantown Bullies, I will go fair game. You did that.
I want to point out
won't
for
be
all
salty.
the people that are going to be in my position playing against the deck is that it says target opponent whose turn it is puts target non-legendary creature card from your graveyard into the battlefield under their control. So just hold your removal and make sure that you kill it on their turn before it gets to your turn.
Don't do that.
Or just Grafdigger's Cage or a ley line.
That's a good one too.
Yeah,
like,
that's it.
Yeah. Then it's turned
Graphic
off.
Escape
That's a good
definitely
point.
turns
Completely. Rest in
that
peace.
one.
That all does
Yeah,
the same
sorry.
stuff. But that's okay because I'm gonna nature's claim it
right.
immediately.
That's right. And then mill myself like crazy.
You can play all your stuff.
You definitely play Hermit Druid in this deck and all that. You just want to just get everything. If you can't find the Entomb,
Yeah,
or
that's
the line,
yeah.
Oh my
Wow,
lord.
Hermit
Yeah,
Druid's
just
actually
go nuts.
crazy in this.
Yeah, dunk it all in there.
Except
and
for if
then-
you're Jimmy, then you only mill one card.
Yeah.
Play
look.
no basic lands.
Yeah, play no
Guys,
basics.
check me out. No basic lands. It's the best.
Yeah, pass the turn knowing.
You do almost play none.
Pass the turn and you have to level everyone or you die. Hermit Druid would just kill you otherwise.
All right. That's going to do it for our top cards from the Streets of New Commander decks. We're now going to go to our Q&A portion of the episode. So if you
Audience.
have any questions for Jimmy or I, feel free to ask them.
Ask-
Be
no.
take a
gentle
break?
with
Huh?
me.
Oh, you were going to take a quick break?
Just like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah,
run
30-second break.
upstairs.
So you are going to have to ask questions of Jimmy and I.
I'll be right back. Though,
This is weird because I was assuming
take
this
a break,
section
too.
would be all...
Magic makes me pee.
Posty just said magic makes you pee, and it does as
Bathroom
well.
break,
for
yeah.
me. Yeah, bathroom break.
It's a
yeah.
live show, everybody. This is how it
So
goes.
yeah, now's your chance to go into chat right now. We've been looking at chat all day, all hour. Lady's gonna be here, and we're gonna grab some questions from y'all, and we're gonna direct them afterwards.
Lady's like, oh crap,
trying.
there's no questions
I'm
for Josh and
trying.
Jimmy. They were all for Posty, and he just left.
So it happens. It's okay though. We're
gives
gonna
me time
collate
to get
them,
them.
and we're gonna throw them up on screen. So if you're in the chat room, now's your chance to reveal yourself and ask something. as
Well, I know we can ask for at least this question right now. There was an overall question of how to get into Magic for newer players, essentially.
we
So I
say
know
this
you
all
know
the
that.
time. It's easy.
Magic Arena.
Yep.
Yeah, you can download Arena for free.
For free and play it for free.
And the tutorial parts of it are all for free.
Yep.
And it is really the best way to learn because there's no better way to learn than they've already got a system in place that's teaching you in the right order. And you actually get to sort of start playing right away.
Yeah.
I think it really is just the easiest way. And you don't have to go super far into it before you could play Magic with your friends or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If you just spend a few hours in Arena, you'll understand the basic mechanics of like tapping mana and casting spells.
Yep.
And that'll kind of get you there.
Yeah, there's many levels to learning Magic. Just the basic one is like learning the rules of chess or checkers. What are the basic rule sets? What do you have to know to just function in the game? And then you get more advanced as time goes on. But Magic Arena gives a great chance for you to do that. At least the fundamentals.
All right, lady, you got a second question for us?
I've got questions, yes.
But they're all for the
We're all
famous
there for Posty.
Look,
superstar.
Owen Koff asked Josh and Jimmy, no
Okay.
mention of our famous friend here.
Yes.
What houses are you looking forward to in Capenna?
What?
Houses.
yeah, what families?
Oh, I'm definitely
families, yeah.
obscure all the way because their mechanic is all about looting and drawing cards, and it seems really cool to
okay.
just be able to. I like turning through my deck, so yeah, I think if I was in one of the crime families, I would be in the Obscura. How about you, Jimmy?
I'm Maestro still. I love Grixis as one of my first commanders, was Marchesa, so I'm all about sacking things and getting some extra value out of that graveyard. So
Copying spells is cool.
Copying spell is very cool, yeah. So I'm a casualty kind of guy.
Kind of guy.
Kind of guy.
So they're asking what your favorite precons for New Capenna.
Oh, well, we got them
your
all in front of us
personal
right here.
ones are going to be.
Oh boy. Do you have a favorite one? Is it the one with Beamtown Bullies?
It could be the one with the Beamtown Bullies. They're not the. I was so surprised that they weren't the cover.
But I think that deck is so specific and probably not super new player friendly.
Yeah, exactly. It's not more of the family type. So I
And
definitely
it would be hard for them to reprint cards because they got to give you a bunch of like bad cards.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd be giving them some weird stuff unless they did the whole group hug angle.
He's back.
He's back.
We were vamping.
Yeah,
we
sorry.
barely made it. Jimmy and I don't know how to talk in front of an audience and all by
Kind of
ourselves.
crazy.
Like,
Yeah,
we've
I'm
never done it
sweating
before.
over here, man.
Just
Just
dab
dab
and
the
say,
whole
I'm awesome.
I do have the burning question of the day for me and everybody else. Posty, did you ever pick up the Black Lotus?
Oh, the Black Lotus.
That
Ever get
one?
it? Yeah, from
No.
auction.
No, I lost that one. That was a sad one.
But
Oh,
the next
Alpha
Yeah.
grade 10? Yeah.
Alpha 9.5.
9.5.
Alpha
9.5.
9.5, signed by Chris Rush. God bless you.
Rest in peace.
I went to Costco.
We told this story on the round table.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had the
You had to get those
winning bid at
good
the
gas
time.
deals.
Yeah.
That was,
man.
they had goldfish.
You wanted to
they
buy-
had goldfish in bulk, man.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
wanted to
turning
buy
that.
800 of something and you went to Costco.
Like before you go to bed at night, is there just that one moment every night where you're like, I could have had that card?
Yeah, very much so. But I think I have a cooler Black Lotus now.
Oh,
The
yeah.
very special one.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, it slipped away. But the next one, maybe not.
All right, lady.
All right,
I'm ready.
next question.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
What is everyone's favorite personal deck they have currently?
Ooh, interesting.
I know yours. Go ahead.
what's mine?
Keurig.
Yeah, that's
Eric.
fair. I really,
Not Zur
I,
the Enchanter?
No, I love my Zur.
Yeah?
I got my
Zur's
nice
good too.
Posty Enchanter,
Posty
and
Enchanter?
it's the coolest thing. I don't know. I'm really enjoying Keurig. I love seeing how fast I can,
Yeah.
or like I can push it, and
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
push it until I go too far, and like bend it till it breaks and
Yeah.
figure it out. I don't know. I love that deck.
A lot of interesting lines. That's a hard deck
Yeah,
to play
very
too,
much so.
because the
Yeah.
sequencing is so important.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
just upgraded it, so it's it's a little.
How's
bit
that
more.
even possible?
I don't know, man. It's a little spicy right now. I put like 6 jeweled
scared now.
lotuses in it, so
Yeah, 10
8
soul
soul
rings,
rings,
6
yeah.
jeweled
4 lightning bolts.
Don't take our advice. Don't do that.
Jimmy, what's your favorite deck?
I think my favorite deck right now might be my Magda deck. I have a
yeah.
mono red Magda deck. Yeah, I love mono red decks, and Magda gets out artifacts and creatures and some big nasty things. So I'm all about, because I love throwing dragons on the
the deck's
battlefield.
surprisingly fast.
Yeah, it's very fast, especially when you have like Chiron negotiations and all sorts of like weird cards that make the tapping and making treasures thing go. So I'm
Magda's
about
pretty
it.
pretty good.
Yeah,
Turns
Gadget's
out
awesome
treasures
on that
are
deck, too.
pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it
true.
turns out, especially when you could use them to drop a blight steal on the battlefield.
And you're in red and you crack it for a green.
Oh yeah,
That's
just because you can.
Just because you
Yeah,
can.
you can, yeah. The rules bend around me.
Josh Lee Clive, Game Night's fame.
My favorite deck is still my Vial Smasher and Thrasios deck.
I know.
I love that deck.
It's
It's
pretty
alright.
good, pretty good.
Yeah. That's the one that beats me every time. I'm like,
Yeah, it
I don't
is.
know what to do.
They even brought the cards up for it. Get out of here. We don't care about Josh's
It turns out
favorite
Thrasios is pretty good. I don't know if everybody's heard. Yeah.
Thrasios might be the
Training
best
Ground.
card in Commander
Blah.
ever.
Yeah.
man.
It's
Pretty
not
gross.
CDH. I just want to say. But
Oh,
it-
just
it
like
was
my
good.
Corvold is a nice Corvold deck.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not true. Everybody. I just
Josh,
want
it's like
everybody
a
to know.
9.
There's
That
no
deck
such
is like a
thing.
9. Come on. It's up there.
8.5.
8.75. Yeah,
8.97.
yeah. All right. We got another question, lady?
And our next question is for Posty. What, when, why did you get interested in Magic the Gathering, more specifically Commander? P.S.
It
Love
was
you all.
these guys. It was these guys that got, because I used to play when I was a kid. So
Yeah.
I used to play when I was like a little kid, and this was, I mean, it was like super, like we were Savannah Lions and, and stuff like that, right? And then I played, I kind of stopped, and then I started playing the Xbox games, the Planeswalkers.
Oh, yeah, Duels of
games.
the Planeswalkers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you could build your deck on Xbox and stuff, and you literally had to use the joysticks.
all
and you're
the
like,
cards.
it
Oh,
was
man.
terrible, but it was so much
It was
fun.
also fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
yeah.
so much fun. And then I started playing Arena.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
started playing Arena again. This was like 3 years ago, and then I started watching these two crazy lads, and I got hooked on Commander. I was like, because I love hanging out, having a Texas tea with my boys. and just chilling out, and that's and like sitting with 4 of your boys. You got a pod, and they're all friends, and everybody's so beautiful and so sweet, and just being able to go and chat with people and kick some ass while you do it,
and dive really deep into a game too. Everyone's like, you're putting so much brain knowledge together into this game that everyone's playing it on the same page of. It's pretty magical.
It's insane. It's better than basketball.
I agree, because I do not sweat when I play Magic the Gathering.
I don't know. Playing Thrasios Vial Smasher, I don't know.
You had a great quote. We ran a promo for the game nights you were on, but you said something like, you're maybe going to meet some of the best friends you'll ever
get to
know.
Yeah,
Magic is just that kind of game, and Commander really is. Yeah, the most of that. So.
Magic also has just changed the way I think about the world. And I think a lot of Magic players think the same way, because all of a sudden you're thinking about, like, what's my out? And then you're filling your gas at the gas station going, how do I min-max this experience?
Right. How do I become more efficient?
Yeah, or just like something comes up that's like kind of Magic related, but like it helped you think about, frame the world a little differently. So the game's great for that too.
And it just makes me happy. That's like the most
art,
important thing.
everything,
It just makes me so happy. Like this,
them.
like Jimmy giving me this is like, I'm just like
and he's going to be very happy when the
maybe
leveler,
I have an Eater of Days
when he gives us the leveler.
And I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's gonna be bittersweet, but it's gonna be a bittersweet symphony. It's gonna be
I'll cry.
gorgeous.
Tears of joy and sadness at the same time.
All right, lady. I think we got
next
time
one.
for a couple more. Yeah.
Okay. The next one is, if there is one card that is not non-legendary out there that you wish was a legendary, so it can be your commander.
Oh.
What is the there's that one, oh boy, I should know the name of it. It's mono white, but it has a hybrid activation cost where it gives all your instants and sorceries lifelink? I've always wanted that to be
Soul something.
Soulfire Grandmaster,
Soulfire
Jamie.
Grandmaster, there it
Wow,
is.
how
Way to
about
go,
that?
Jamie.
Jamie's the
That's
best.
Jamie
though,
knew.
right?
Jamie
Yeah.
knew.
Isn't
Jamie
that
blocked,
Just
by
Guy?
the way. Yeah, it's Just Guy. It's Just
Yeah,
Guy,
it's just guy.
Yeah, I think that card would be.
Time Warp. Get out of here with that.
It just
nonsense. Degenerate.
That's not what I. Well, I probably would do that.
Yeah, you 100% do that. You 100% would do that.
All right, how about you guys? What's a
Oh,
non-legendary you wish was legendary?
This is tough.
Yeah,
I
it's
kind of like.
tough.
There's another mono white one that creates monk tokens with prowess. I forget what that is.
Oh, it's
called.
the. It has
Jamie, bring it up. Get us.
What's
It's
it do?
2 in the white.
There it
It's
is,
yeah,
Monster
Monster
Mentor.
Mentor. Yeah, Monster Mentor. Because I mean, this would just be cool, like a white spell slinger deck, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah. I like how both of us said 2 in the white, mono white creature. Oh, yours
Yeah.
just guy.
Yeah, mine's really just guy.
Thassa's Oracle. I don't know.
Wait, no, that's great. Mono blue Thassa's Oracle. That's
That's all you
Degenerate.
need.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's the whole thing, too.
That's like an F1 card,
I
dude.
found Ambassador Laquadius or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah, you
and
texted
yo,
me.
if you just if you get infinite mana anyway, you draw your whole deck. It's or you mill your whole deck. It's
What's
insane.
Ambassador? What?
Ambassador Laquadius. There he is, right there. That's my boy.
3 mana target player
Yeah,
puts the
I might
top
have built
3
that.
cards
It
of their
Should be
library. Oh,
Ambassador
yeah, it just mills you.
Liquadius.
That's
Ooh.
true. I mean,
And
even
you can mill out other people too. You can just mill everyone out.
Took him a second.
Yeah, it's like
and,
leveler.
you know, but I don't know. There's so many. Thassa's Oracle is the first one that comes to mind because that's just so easy. Like,
yeah.
But I don't know. Like I don't know. Spellseeker would be sick. Like
Spellseeker?
just special stuff. Protean Hawk would be sick.
Oh, my
Like,
Lord.
How crazy would that be?
Dockside
That'd be very crazy.
extortionist in my command zone. Let's do that.
Flash is your commander.
Can I make Sensei's Divining Top a legendary creature?
Oh,
Can I do that?
good.
Yeah, I'll do
that'd
that.
be-
I'll go
that'd
that
be-
way.
You have to play a colorless deck though. That'd be hard.
That'd be cool. Code. It'd be kind of, yeah. I'd be down. I'll figure it out.
All right, lady. What's up next?
All right. So up next we have from Zach Moore, Josh Posty, and Jimmy. What are some of your favorite what the heck moments in your Commander and EDH careers?
Oh man, what the heck moments?
Well, you know.
I'm trying to think of like a time when the rules were like out of whack. Oh my
Mizzix's
lord, that's a really good one. Jake
Mastery.
just popped his head in and reminded me about the Mizzix Mastery moment from Game Nights,
This is ridiculous.
where I Mizzix Mastery and had like 27
You were
instances
playing
of sorceries.
Varen, right?
Yeah.
The dual. Yeah.
Oh,
double
yeah,
spells,
from
red,
Strixhaven.
blue.
And
Yeah,
it
Strixhaven.
literally, we had to break for lunch because it took me like 40 minutes to try and figure out. And I was like, this is taking forever.
Get
Everybody go
Ambassador
eat.
Laquadis out of here. Put
Everybody.
Varen up.
Everybody else
Ambassador
went to like, it took
Laquadius.
3
No, don't
hours
take 'em
to
off.
figure out what order to resolve all the stuff in and what was going to happen and which ones I wanted. Yeah, that was what did I get
It
myself
took you like
into moment.
3 hours to figure out what you're going to do.
And for the last hour, I had help from everybody.
That was like the first game nights. Whenever I played Rise of the Dark Realms.
Oh, yeah, we were like, well, what is going to happen? We had to figure out all
that. I was like,
Yeah,
okay, what are
yeah.
we taking from everybody? Like all this stuff. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's so. I think my what the heck moment is every time you play Orvar because I don't know what the hell's going on. So, yeah.
He hates it when I pull out the overdeck. He's like, oh, the
I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm like,
gosh.
yeah, I trust you, Josh. I trust you.
Yeah.
I just make token copies of
Sure.
lands. That's all that happens.
Sure.
Yeah. My what the heck moment isn't commander related. I was drafting with Craig once. We were at the old Riot offices. You may have been there that night, but we were drafting like a core set.
Oh, I
In
remember
the
this,
core
yeah.
set, we were doing conspiracy plus core set. And conspiracy has this thing that if you draft it, you can double a spell you get,
I remember
right?
this.
So Craig Blanchett decides, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just do something that's just really inappropriate. So he drafts a mill 10 cards type spell, and he drafts as many of those as possible alongside the conspiracy that doubles that spell every time.
It's like a sorcerer instant that, target player mills 10 cards or target
Yeah.
opponent mills 10 cards.
2 games in a row, Craig Blanchett goes after me and mills me out of my 40-card limited deck that I just drafted. And I got so frustrated. Double stroke, yep. I
Yep.
got so frustrated for the one and only time in my Magic career, I took my deck and I threw it at Craig.
He literally did the
I slammed the cards down. I was so upset that I got double milled out on the draft night.
It was the second game where we were like, he's not going to target Jimmy again. He's like, Jimmy. We're like, oh!
What did you have in your deck? Like 8 Soul Rings?
No, it was 100 soul rings.
He was like, I have a sweet deck, and you won't let me play it.
Yeah.
He was steady
I was
out.
so excited. Yeah, it was like M18 or 17. I forget which one it was, but it had a like mill 10 cards card. And because we combined it with double stroke and conspiracy, Craig just decided that this was how we wanted to live in the world.
That's me.
Craig just wants to watch the world burn.
Yeah.
So respect to Craig.
So speaking of that, they want to know who the toughest opponent to play against with how they build or play their decks.
Josh.
Yeah, probably
Yeah,
Josh.
Josh.
Because he's not only building decks, he's wheeling and dealing. And even if
Yeah.
you're like, look, you're being manipulated right now, he'll still find a way around
His
it
eyes
and
are,
get you to say yes.
are mesmerizing. He has these beautiful, mesmerizing
He finds the line.
hamburger eyes. And
Hamburger?
Yeah, I don't know. They're like
Who doesn't love a
little
hamburger?
hamburgers, and I love them.
Yeah.
I love hamburgers. I'm hungry right now.
Yeah, Josh, I love you.
I will say Posty's very tough to play against. His decks are all like very powerful. You got to be on your toes. Like you got to have your removal ready because at any moment, like it's not CEDH, but it's like super highly tuned. There will be some combos, so it's gonna be
Ready to win at those
yeah.
moments,
And you build really resilient decks. That's one of the things where I'm always like,
Sure.
I stopped the combo. Remember the other
Sure.
night we were playing and I hit you with the Sword of Feast of Man, got the Walking Bliss out of your hand. Heliod's already on the battlefield. I was like, there, we're fine. And then you comboed off like the next turn somehow.
Yeah,
like,
I don't. It's
with no
nice-
cards in hand either. It was like, what the hell is going on?
I
Put 8
find
Soul Rings
myself
in this
often
deck.
doing jazz hands. I took their commander deck building format and kind of just threw. I was
Yeah,
like,
you went
who
nuts.
needs to draw cards? Of course, there's others.
needs 10 lands? I need 3
don't-
lands.
That's what they were giving me so much crap. They're like, yeah, he never has any lands. I'm like, I
What if-
have lands in the deck.
What about
That's the most important thing.
Chromatic Orrery?
The best card ever printed.
Oh, let's talk.
Orrery.
Hey, Jimmy, can you punch up Chromatic Ori?
Oh, it's ready!
Yeah.
So quickly! That's incredible. That was like
all right.
milliseconds after
I just
we
want to be
mentioned
clear
it.
about our stances. I think this card is garbage.
No, the goal of this podcast was for me to get you to say that you love Chromatic Orrery.
No, never going to happen.
Josh, okay,
Take
pretend
the
we're
lantern down. It's only Ori.
Pretend
It's only
we're
Ori.
in-
Oh,
the
Lantern's
script.
pretty mid, right?
pretend we're reading a script for an ad, and it's like, you know what? I love Chromatic Orrery, but that's your line. All right, ready and action. Bummer, man.
Dude, SpaceX is giving you $5 trillion to say you love Chromatic Orrery.
I love Chromatic Ori. $5 trillion. Okay, it is.
We do like this card.
Posty plays it in a few decks. Not a ton, but
No, I like.
No,
I don't
every
know.
time you get it, I'm like, that card's garbage.
It's just
Yoda,
so. It's
very good at
yeah,
Yoda.
I don't
He
know,
kills me with
man.
it sometimes.
It's so that's won me so many games because the ability to like honestly.
Man of any color,
Well,
right?
well, you take it. All right, so you take it and expand it. All right, so you're running artifacts. You're running a crap ton, a boatload of fucking
Mana
freaking
rocks.
artifacts.
We're rated R now. We're rated R. Sorry, everybody.
We're not high-fiving anymore. So you're running all these artifacts, right? And if you think about it, what is it? Like Thran Dynamo is 4 for 3.
Right.
Right? Chromatic Orrery is 7 for 5. But you also can spend mana as if it were any color.
Right.
I think, and you can also draw.
Weathered
If
Power Stone, pretty good with it too. Yeah.
Your commander's 5 colors. You draw 5 cards off tapping it. I don't know. It's
Sure,
pretty.
but that's a lot of mana to draw the cards.
But sometimes you need it. And
know.
look, you got a bunch of
think it's
mana.
He has used it to kill me before, but
Yeah.
I've always said, well, yeah, but a lot of 7 mana cards would have been good in the spot where you played that one.
That's
It's called a
very
pet
true.
card, Josh.
Yeah,
Very
no,
true.
it's
Not
fine.
in colorless.
He's the one that
You're
brought
gonna
it up. I
hate
didn't.
on Posty's pet? That's crazy,
Dude,
man.
you hate my pet.
I said I loved it.
That's true you did. Only because
$5 billion.
Elon told you to.
$5 trillion. What a bounty.
hey, the joke's on you. Little do you know, I would have done it for $1 trillion.
Oh! You wasted $4 trillion. That could have been spent to cast mana in color. All right.
All right, lady, do we have any more? Or we?
We have a few more.
Let's do one more.
One
Okay.
more.
No, let's do
That's the
3.
best one.
Let's do 3.
All right, we're doing three.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do
We're
3.
doing
So
three.
one I've got is from Gaming Night. What is your personal favorite era in Magic because of sets, people, or while you were
Gaming night.
Hey, that sounds
That sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is it Night with a K?
It is Night with a K.
Wow.
I love that name.
One, the lawsuit's
I'm
on the
gonna-
way.
I'm gonna-
Just kidding. Just kidding.
I'm actually Can I use that name for my show?
Hey, Post Malone Gaming Night here.
What's going on, guys? This is Gaming Nights.
Thanks, sponsored by Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sponsored by
you're
Blizzards.
experiencing hair loss-
Blizzards of the Boast. You're on Gaming Nights.
All right, what's your favorite era in Magic? You know, is that like sets and blocks and
Yeah,
things like
sets,
that?
blocks, everything.
I
like
know
that.
my answer.
What is it?
Urza's block. That's the
Oh,
coolest
wow.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's the coolest stuff ever.
Way back in the day.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's like
those
the coolest
sets
stuff.
are insane.
No, that's just the coolest
Gaia's
stuff.
Cradle.
Yeah. Grim Monolith,
Grim
foil Grim
Monolith.
Monolith.
Is that because you like the cards from that era the most, or like you have? Is that when you played as a kid? Was or
No, I think it was. There's a little bit of gray because that was like what 98.
Yeah.
Yeah.
98.
Late 90s, for sure.
Yeah. I
There's
was
also
4.
Gilded Drake.
I'm not. I was
Prodigy, Magic Prodigy, everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Guys, I was slinging. I had like 19 foil Grim Monoliths.
Yeah, you felt the cards get printed, and you're like, oh, that's my set.
That's the set. I don't know. There's something about it. The foiling from that set is just
Yeah.
like it's just like
cards
Yeah, the
feel,
foiling from
they
it.
have
as
that-
much as I
yeah.
love playing, I love admiring the art and the like what's created.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I just think it's gorgeous. So mine's Urza's block.
It's got that
and-
old art style too. I love the art in Grim Monolith.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, it feels
it's
very
insane.
eternal.
Yeah, I don't know.
When I played, it was right when Ice Age came out. So that has to be my favorite as well because I remember getting it was like revised lightning bolts and incinerate. The art for incinerate from like revised, if we can find that. This art alongside Nightmare blew my mind as a
Nightmare's
kid.
the coolest
Nightmare's
thing ever.
so
I don't think
good.
you can do
Yeah.
specific art. Yeah.
Okay, well, incinerate. I mean, the old version has just. It's kind of like that scene in.
It's Terminator 2,
Nightmare.
right?
Terminator 2
Where
when
she's, like, at the-
at the nuclear explosion happens and you just watch the flesh get ripped off. So that card when I was 7 or 8 was just like this. I cannot believe this exists.
That's pretty
I could do
metal.
this to
I
someone.
gotta cast it on someone and make them lose life. So my deck was literally like 20 mountains and then just lightning bolts and incinerates and
Sick.
fireballs. That was my first Magic deck.
So it's like your Magic decks now.
Yeah.
it's the same thing.
I'm true to form.
Mine. Oh, it's tough because there's the nostalgia of like I played at the very beginning when like Legends the set came out. So like Revised is like what Magic looked like to me and my friends. So
Yeah.
Revised has a lot of nostalgia to it. I really love the Cons era. Conspiracy came out around that same
Oh,
time. And Conspiracy and Cons I just thought were just two like super fun sets to draft, and then that's when really we got into Commander. So I think I just have like it's a lot of nostalgic
Nostalgia?
feelings
Yeah.
about those two like moments in time for me.
Shed it,
So-
Ojinen. To see Drino. What a transition you've made, Josh, over the years. Jet it. With
Put
the
Dakon
abs.
Blackblade up there, not
Yeah.
yeah. come
No,
on,
Jet it's
Dakon,
great.
Dakon.
What, you dissing on Jet it?
Dakon
Come
Blackblade
on,
was the
man.
first rare I ever opened. So
Wow.
you know, yeah.
Nice.
New Capenna is a close second.
No, seriously, I do love New Capenna.
I love it too. It's
Yeah, the
absolutely
cards-
incredible. Yeah,
the Art
it's so
Deco stuff
cool.
looks great. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I got one more question, and then I have a personal request.
Oh, nice.
Oh wow.
So the last question, I cannot say that, but for all of you, who is your 4-player dream pod to play against? Hi, Josh, from your cousin Ryan.
Hi Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
Down
Dream
San-
Pod.
SD.
Besides everybody who's here, so you have to name 3
Aw.
people.
That's in my dream pod.
Yeah.
It could also be people
That's-
that don't play Magic.
Yeah,
that are
just-
from history, from whatever.
From history?
Yeah, anybody.
Yeah, why
just
not?
just
Wow,
pick
okay.
your favorite.
All right.
Josh, you need
Fictional
to dream a little bigger.
characters?
Sure.
Fictional
Dream
characters.
Pod.
Wow, this
Dream
is good.
Pod.
Dream
Okay.
Pod.
I
You
mean,
know?
Blade,
Yes!
SpongeBob, and Shrek.
Wait, that would be
Instantly.
such a good pod.
Are you kidding
Blade
me?
and
The dynamic.
SpongeBob.
Yeah, it's called
Could you
Gaming
im-
Nights,
Yeah.
sponsored by Blizzards of the Post. Are you kidding me? It's insane.
It's out next Tuesday, everybody. Yeah.
Holy moly. Holy moly. Okay.
Blade and SpongeBob.
Could you imagine Blade playing Commander?
I can and I
Kidding
will.
me? He runs Edgar Markov.
Would he
That's
ever?
insane.
Here's the thing. Would he ever pay for the tax on Ristic Setting?
Hell
No.
No,
Because
just
it is
Absolutely
no,
not.
cut your head off. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he's
Oh, whoa.
He's not paying for
I
no
don't know. I just
taxes.
thought Blade was awesome. And then no
I was
comments
making a
on
deep- I was making
taxes
a
or anything.
Deep cut Hollywood cut. Okay. I've been asked before. I think I would want to do, because we've talked about him so many times. Sun Tzu. He wrote The Art of War.
That's a good one.
Epic.
Wouldn't he be crazy
Yeah.
to just see what happens?
He'd probably be the best.
Yeah, he probably would wreck you, and with a smile on his face. It's like playing against Josh sometimes.
Wait, why the smile on his face? We don't know Sun Tzu's disposition.
That's true.
Yeah.
Maybe he has a frown.
He was a
Maybe
he
he has
was
a
a
grimace.
tactical strategy guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a dark grimace. I think Sun Tzu, and then I think I would love to play with like the elder statesman. I want to play with like George Washington.
Yeah, I like this.
As he's crossing the river.
But you want to play with him as he's crossing? You
Yeah.
can
He's like,
you
yo,
can
I
pick
got
where
a game.
too?
I got
Like,
a game of Commander. I got.
Think about it. That's a big river. They got a lot of time, and everyone's
true.
rowing, and he's just
That's very
he's
true.
not standing there doing this the whole time. He's probably doing something else.
He probably
So you
wasn't doing
guys
that
are
at all.
on that little dinghy.
Yeah, we're on the dinghy, and we're playing with all fully sleeved cards, double sleeved, because I don't want to get anything wet.
Sick.
Sick, super sick. And then I don't know, Genghis Khan. I don't know, just throw someone out there. Just
good,
finding
yeah.
crazy people that would do nuts things. If it was fictional characters, maybe I would want to play with like Batman
Sick.
Oh,
And-
Bruce Wayne or Batman?
and George Washington
and
Sun Tzu.
SpongeBob and Sun Tzu.
Yeah, and of course Shrek as well.
Maybe I
He should
maybe I
be
want to
in
get
every
a.
pod.
I think I want to get a
Well,
drink with Shrek. I don't know if I want to play with Shrek.
Technically, Shrek is in every Commander pod because he's with all of us
In our heart.
right here.
Is that true?
That's very true. You don't feel him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally do.
You don't think Shrek is
You don't
everywhere?
feel him?
He's inside you right now.
Wait, let me answer. I've been thinking about my answer for a second.
Oh,
here.
sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, we could go deep on Shrek.
I have two
though.
good ones. I'm trying to come up with a third. Maybe it'll happen. I don't know.
Did I steal one of yours? I'm sorry if I did.
No.
No. I know
I
at
think it would
least
be
one of
cool
them.
to put together like the all politics pod.
Yes.
So let's
Ah.
get Machiavelli,
Wow.
sit him down. Let's get like Cicero,
Okay.
Wow.
and then let's get like, I don't know, who's somebody that's modern, that's like a real good orator or speaker, convinced. Like
Barack
Obama.
Obama.
I think would be a pretty good one.
Obama's
Yeah.
awesome.
So I'd like to test my mettle in the politics game against the
Yeah.
great silver tongues of history.
That would
Very
be pretty
cool.
epic.
Very
I would
cool.
definitely watch that on Gaming
Yeah, and
Nights.
Shrek. Shrek is the wild card. in
Shrek
the
is
5-player
always
pod.
there. Or just anybody from the play Hamilton.
Oh, there you
Like,
go.
on
Lin-Manuel
Broadway.
Miranda, that'd be sweet.
Lin-Manuel
I've never
would be
seen
cool.
Hamilton. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, it's great.
It's great. You should see it.
All right, lady, you've got a special request
Yeah.
or question of your own.
No, my special request is into our next transition. If you all could give us your best new Capenna caster, you know what I'm talking about, like an old
do a
timey,
new
like
the Bank Buster.
yeah,
Oh,
into,
yeah,
into
the-
the next into the next
segment, which
end
is
segment.
we're gonna be teasing upcoming events. You want to give it a shot? Hey there, see, we're gonna go into the main event of the evening, which is the upcoming events for the next thing you're talking about. See,
Man, that's pretty good. Ah, yeah, I trust you, but my finger gun don't. And I'm not allowed to cuss. So,
I'm a
We
good
love you,
boy.
see?
He's a good boy.
yeah, we're all a couple good boys, huh?
I'm gonna put your name on a star on the boulevard,
I
kid.
thought you were going to say put your nuts. I don't know.
I'm gonna grab your nuts and put them on the boulevard, kid. You're gonna
Wow.
be famous
Wow.
around the town.
Wow.
Everyone's
Well,
gonna know
technically
the
didn't
name
cuss.
of
Nuts is not a bad
Yeah.
word.
Gaming Nights, Mr. Nuts.
technically did not cuss.
We're all nuts for Mr. Nuts. So there are
We
some.
almost made it. Josh is like, we almost made
almost,
it.
yeah. We're degenerating very quickly towards the end here.
Okay, all right. Let's get to the upcoming events before this goes downhill any farther. Yeah, a lot of stuff coming up for Streets of New Capenna. In-store pre-releases are April 22nd to 24th.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know. Have you ever been to a pre-release, Posty? They're like Jimmy, and I guess it would be a disaster probably if you did go to one.
There's a fantastic store in Salt Lake.
Oh,
called
true.
Oasis.
We went to
Yeah.
Oasis Games.
Oasis,
yeah.
Absolutely incredible store.
Yeah, pre-releases are, I think, my most favorite like live Magic events that happen. They're very like casual. There's low stakes, but you get to play with the new cards.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I love
People
them.
of
So you
all
have
ages.
You've done it?
Yeah, one.
That's awesome.
The one.
Yeah, the one.
The one.
It's a great chance for the person that asked, like, how do I learn how to play Magic?
Oh.
Pre-release is like the next step after you learn how to play, because there are people that are going to help you. It's so nice and awesome, yeah.
Absolute beautiful people, and they just, it's so cool to see Magic players come together and show love and spread
Yeah,
love. No matter what,
I've missed in-person events, so.
Yeah, man.
And then, of course, April 27th, the Game Nights episode for Streets of New Capenna is coming out. We have special guests, Nessa Meow Meow, Twitch streamer, and then Ned Fulmer from the Try Guys is in the house, looking very dapper. We all dressed up for that
everyone's dressed
episode.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a
Yeah,
very
I
fun
know,
one. Well, you
right?
can't be on every episode.
Well, you guys can come on gaming night.
Oh, thanks, man.
I can't wait to be a guest on Gaming Nights.
And then April 28th is the digital release of Streets of New Capenna on Arena and on MTGO. And then, of course, on April 29th, that is when the physical paper product officially releases. That's when we're all going to be cracking our
Collector's
boosters, set boosters.
Set boosters,
yeah,
and
all that
drafting the
stuff.
draft boosters, being responsible.
Yeah, draft. Yeah, don't just crack, draft. Don't let your friends just crack the packs, draft the packs. Yeah.
I don't know. You could kind of let them.
You
crack
could
the
play
packs, too.
yeah.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, it's your life, your reality. Have fun with it.
All right, and then one last thing we wanted to let everybody know is that on May 10th, we are going to be doing episode 3 of Command Zone Live. And on that episode, Jimmy and I are going to be revealing our Commander Legends Baldur's Gate preview card, which is a brand new legendary creature. So we've got a lot to say about it. We're going to spend the whole episode sort of talking about that card because it's a pretty cool one.
Yeah, we'll build around it. It'll be a lot of fun. Check it out, May 10th. Put it on your calendars. We'll also tweet it all out and stuff so you can get the registration link.
Yep. All right. Thank you, everybody out there who attended. Thanks for everybody in chat for throwing us the questions and whatnot. We really appreciate you hanging out with us. Posty, of course, thanks for coming, man.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having
Big
me.
thanks to Lady Danger on the questions, Jake Boss for
Thanks,
directing
Lady
in the backs, Jamie Block for bringing up all those cards, Truck Tie, Wizards of the Coast, Zach and Malika, and Knox at Hyper RPG, where we are right now.
Yep,
Big
and
thanks.
everybody here behind the scenes at RPG. We really thank everybody. And we'll see you all on May 10th.
Peace.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for your attention. For further inquiries, send an email to commandcast@rocketjump.com or ask us on Twitter @JFWong and @JoshLeeQuai. See you later, alligator.
Greetings, humans.